Booksmart is a movie directed by Olivia Wilde that stars Caitlin Dever and Beanie Featherstein, who I never realized is Jonah Hill's sister. It's about these two girls. They're really preppy. They focus a lot on school. They don't really do any extracurricular activities because they're so focused on their schoolwork. They think that that's the most important thing. But yet, when it comes time for graduation, they realize that they have to live it up a little bit, so they want to try and attend a party, and a night of debauchery and raunchiness ensues, and we have a movie. This is Olivia Wilde's directorial debut. Side note here, she's married to Jason Sudeikis, and he's actually in the movie. This is really raunchy. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. Definitely go and see this movie when you get a chance. I think this is going to be one of those movies that's really overlooked. It was released at the wrong time of the year, going up against Aladdin, and then this week Rocketman and Godzilla. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Godzilla as much as the next person. I'm going to see Rocketman on Friday. I saw Aladdin yesterday. You can check out my review. But Booksmart it felt like it was like The Breakfast Club meets Lady Bird meets 8th grade. And I really appreciated that. I thought that this was a really well-written movie with characters that are not only well-written, but characters you can relate to. And this movie just doesn't hold back. Because you know with these teen comedies, it's like sometimes they don't know how far they can go in terms of raunchiness. So it's like, we don't know if we're going to do the PG-13 or R, so PG-13. No, this keeps it at an R-rated level, and I laughed my ass off in this movie. I thought that this was really funny. The two leads, Caitlin Dever and Beanie Featherstein, really, really good. Definitely deserve some recognition for their work in this movie. Olivia Wilde, really good directing in this movie too. And a lot of the supporting characters, even though they just kind of show up at random times, they're still really funny. There's this one kid where I was just like, this is hilarious. Like, this kid's not gonna stop at all, and I love that. This is a really well-rounded movie. Like I said, if you've seen The Breakfast Club, if you've seen something like Lady Bird or 8th grade from last year, it's really basically that. And movies that everybody really likes. So if you like those three movies, I think you'll really like this movie. There's a scene in the middle of this movie that takes place in a car, similar to 8th grade. The situation is changed, but it's a scene involving the two girls, and then they open something, and they're completely surprised by what it is. And then the car stops, and that something flies onto them. Hilarious. And this movie has a really good message. Just, don't get bogged down in what you're trying to achieve with your life goals. You can still do that, but make some free time to actually do some stuff for yourself. Make some time for extracurricular activities. And I think this movie really delivered that message wholeheartedly. And I think it delivered it very strongly. And throughout the entire movie, I really bought that these two were best friends. Even when it didn't seem like that they were always on the same page, or even when they're arguing. It's still, you definitely can tell that these two girls definitely grew up, were definitely best friends, and that you can tell that they're like, man, we missed out on everything, so let's just go to a party and be ridiculous for the whole night. And they both, and the funny thing is like, they both have their lifetime goals, but then once they find out about this party, they have their goals to achieve at this party. So it's like they have a goal that they want to do in one night, and I thought that the movie really did that very well. There's also some emotional weight here, that especially the final scene of the movie, that I think Olivia Wilde really hammered home in her directing style. And that scene really hammered home just how much of an emotional weight that this movie has. You cared about these characters. You feel for these characters. My only complaint with the movie is that the final scene of the movie just kind of stops. There's no, real ending to this movie. One nitpick that I have with the movie is I wanted to see the character played by Caitlin Dever. I wanted to see her parents a little bit more, because they were actually kind of funny. They were in 2 scenes played by Will Forte and Lisa Kudrow. I wanted to see them a little bit more. Just their reactions to everything. I think would have been funny. It's weird though, because there's a graduation scene in this movie. You just see the entire class seated, and then far off in the bleachers, like, it's a distant shot of like everybody in the bleachers, but it never focuses on who's in the bleachers, like the parents, family members, all of that. That's just a small nitpick, but again, if I did have to knock this movie for anything, it's definitely the final scene. I think it just kind of stops. It doesn't really end. Overall, go see this movie, guys. Support small movies like this. This is definitely coming out at a bad time of year. Going up against Aladdin, Godzilla, and Rocketman, this is something that I feel like should come out in, like, November or something. You know, closer to award season. That's how I feel personally. I'm going to give Booksmart an A. Guys, thank you for watching my review of Booksmart. I will leave all my links to my social media accounts in the description below. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.